Piece by piece, piece by piece, we're building a story piece by piece. Today we're going to look at the movie piece by piece. Yeah, as you can already tell, my career as a singer, songwriter, musician, artist is not taking off. It's not very good. So we're going to be taking a look at the story of one famous singer, songwriter, but it is told in Lego. What is poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at another film review. And this film review is going to be about the newest movie, the newest Lego movie that has recently come out, which is a Pharrell Williams movie, a autobiography, a story of his life type situation, made in Lego. And for whatever reason, we have a lot of these autobiography style movies, a lot of these sort of movies telling people's life stories, but done in weird ways. For example, Better Men, which came out in December of 2024, also starred, Robbie Williams, but it was told as he was a monkey instead of a human. So, a lot of weird autobiographies coming out, but without any further delay, let's take a look at what Google has to say. So, Piece by Piece is a 2024 musical music, which is 1 hour and 34. It felt like a whole lot longer when watching this movie. It is a 6.9 out of 10 on IMDb and 83% Rotten Tomatoes. You can find this on Google, Amazon Prime, Sky, and also YouTube. Lego Bricks tell the life story of singer/songwriter and record producer Pharrell Williams from his childhood in Virginia to his success in the music and fashion industry. So, to tell the story is just going over Pharrell Williams' life. He starts off as a young boy in an apartment sort of center, and he's, makes mates in school. He can see colors when he listens to music, and he starts producing his own beats. They start stockpiling beats, and none of them really take off, so he starts selling them to other singer/songwriters like Daft Punk, Jay-Z, Snoop Dogg, and a couple of others as well. And then he starts making his own songs, and then the Minions come and pick him up and help him write songs for the Minions, and he got the inspiration from his children. He had a little bit of a fail moment where stuff wasn't going right and he was a little bit down in the dumps. He met his wife at a party, and then he wasn't ready for love, and then he came back to her when he got back on his feet and was like, hey, I'm ready now, let's go. They now have a couple of children, and he's continuing to make songs, and he's still trying to find, life. He's still trying to, work out life and still enjoy it. And he wanted to tell this story in Lego Bricks because of the bright vibrancy of the pieces and all the cool sort of designs that they could have. And I'm going to be honest, that is the entire story. It's literally just a story of his life, and it is just him narrating the whole thing. It is more of it's what you find on the Discovery Channel. It's like a documentary. It's not like a movie. And I'm gonna be honest, I was definitely falsely advertised. I thought this was going to be a pretty cool movie. It's like a Lego movie, and I'm sure a load of other kids, I am like a 21-year-old guy, and I was fooled by this. I thought it'd be a cool sort of adventurous movie with Lego bricks. No, it's literally just a simple telling of his life. I expected some form of telling of his life, but I expected it to be a little bit more exaggerated, a little bit more creative, a little bit more sort of out there, and sort of not like 100% accurate and just have a little bit of fun with it. That's not what I got. It was like a 100% accurate version of his life with a couple of cool jokes, visual gags, and stuff that goes on in the background. I bet a load of kids and a load of parents were tricked by this and went to go watch it and found out that it was quite boring and not really what it was supposed to be, and I kind of feel lied to because of it being a Lego movie and branded as a Lego movie. A lot of kids would have probably gone to go see this and would have come out a little bit disappointed. I was so bored during this movie. I did like seeing all the different characters, not characters, real celebrities, but they were in like a Lego form with their own little Lego sig fig, their own little Lego avatar, and they were made into characters for this movie. And I did like seeing how everyone translated into Lego, because it was pretty cool, and there is a couple of characters that we got in here which we wouldn't normally expect to see in Lego, like Snoop Dogg, like Jay-Z, And for whatever reason, Snoop Dogg is allowed his own Lego figure in this movie, but he isn't allowed his own Lego figure in Fortnite. Just a little bit of a nitpick that I found, and a little bit of a factual thing. At the time we recording this video, Snoop Dogg does not have a Lego variation in Fortnite, and I'm just a little bit confused with Lego standards. Like why can't he have a Lego figure in the game, but he's allowed one in this movie? I just don't understand it. There is also a load of fake Lego pieces in this movie, like Lego hair pieces with a couple of dreadlocks, some hair hat combinations, some hair headphone combinations, some beanie hair combinations that we don't actually have in Lego form, but that actually appear in this movie, and you can actually use those with the Pharrell Williams sort of piece-by-piece Lego avatar creator. And again, it just feels like we're being lied to, falsely advertised to, and there is more potential that this movie had that it didn't actually take off with. This movie took so long, I was so bored, and every time that I thought this movie was nearing the end, it just kept going. It just kept going, and there was more. And it does have its cool moments, I will admit. The big fish at the start was a really nice set design. The big sort of Poseidon statue was a really good set design. And I liked the little Lego jokes where instead of Snoop Dogg's weed, it was PG spray. And they covered up when they swore or said shit with a little tile with a poop emoji on it. I thought there were some really creative sort of design choices, really creative visual choices, and overall it was genuinely a visually good movie. It was good visually, it had some nice colours, some nice character designs, some nice set designs, and genuinely just looked really pretty. But the story just wasn't there, and I'm going to be honest, I would have preferred more of a story than a narration. This was 100% him just narrating his entire life from start to finish, and that's fine, but I feel like this movie could have been a lot better if we had it as a film format. Like, instead of him narrating over it and sort of talking in interviews, it was like him acting in the movie, and like all these characters were voice acting in it instead of doing interviews and then having those interviews animated into Lego. I don't know if I'm explaining it well enough, but what I'm trying to get at, like, if it was the story of his life, like playing out how it happened, instead of him saying how it happened and having visual aids on screen. That's what I'm trying to get at, and that's what I'm trying to sort of convey. That's my biggest nitpick and gripe with this movie, but it is a good, like, telling of his life story. I don't know how he managed to sort of swindle this deal with it in Lego. They never really go over that in the movie. He just says he wants it done in Lego, and I guess he's that rich and that famous and pretty child-friendly to be like, you know what, sure, give him the Lego sort of green light. And with this Lego green light, he got his own set as well, which is this big black rocket with like a rainbow contrail coming off it, and that set doesn't actually appear in the movie. That big spaceship, that like massive like 50-pound set, doesn't actually appear in the movie. Like, that is nowhere to be seen. We don't see that in the movie, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it feels like a lot of false advertising and a lot of false marketing to try and get people to watch this movie. I feel like the set could have been so much better if it included some of the singers that were actually featured in the movie, because the only figure is Pharrell Williams, and then there's a wall of heads, so you can swap the head if you choose to, and there's like another figure which you can make your own, I guess. I don't know. And I wish it would give us some of these new hair molds that we see for some of these characters, like the hair dreads combo for Snoop Dogg, like his mate's hairpiece. They would be really cool to get in Lego, and like they would be really appreciated hairpieces that we just haven't got. We haven't got many sort of dreads or sort of pigtail-esque sort of hairpieces, or very many hair hat combos with these colours that we see in this movie. So maybe if we just had a couple of other characters in the set and made it the big fish in the background, or the big Poseidon that was sort of talking to Pharrell throughout the entire movie, it just feels like this movie had potential, but it just didn't quite hit it just didn't quite hit the mark and just didn't quite get there. I'm going to be honest, I do feel quite let down by this movie. I was having kind of high hopes for this movie because the trailers did look really cool. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of his music. I think Happy is an overplayed song, and his new one, like Double Life, is a pretty cool one, and Piece by Piece isn't bad, but I had no idea that he made music or beats for Snoop Dogg, for Jay-Z, for a couple of other singers and songwriters, Daft Punk. I didn't know he did that, but I do now, so it's definitely taught me some more things about him and about his life, which I didn't know before, so it got the point across of telling his life story, but I feel like there was better ways around it and other ways you could have done it, and I just feel like kids were marketed this movie. Like, this movie was 100% marketed towards kids, and I don't think that's very fair, I'm going to be honest, because I don't think kids would have watched this movie if it wasn't made in Lego. I don't feel like this is a movie that kids would have watched, and fair enough, you can have adult animated movies, you can have adult animations, but you know, I am an adult who collects Lego. Yes, fair enough, there is some Lego sets for adults. A lot of celebrities do like Lego, Pharrell Williams included, but I do feel like Lego's main target audience is children, so having this be made in Lego definitely feels like it is marketed a lot more towards children, and I don't think children would have enjoyed this movie as much as some of the adults that watched it would have done. There is a lot of adult jokes, so there is something there for the adults as well, but again, it is Lego, so there is limitations because they are, again, a child-friendly company and they don't want too much sort of adult stuff going on in the background, like Snoop Dogg's weed, like them swearing. But other than that, I feel like this movie is a 4 out of 10 because it's trying to do too much, and it's got a kid-friendly front, but the story is a little bit more mature. So I just don't know who it's really sort of marketed towards. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an incredible day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.